Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Mac Story.
All right. Happy you joined me today. We're going to be talking about the secret to your success. This is you. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't have to know you to know this is the secret to your success. So today we're on part 7 of 30 in this Blue Collar Leadership Leading from the Front Line series, which is based on my best-selling book. Out of all of my books, Blue Collar Leadership is the one that gets the most attention. So chapter 7 is the secret to your success. And I love talking to people about this. And I pretty much mention it probably 90% of the time I'm on stage speaking or training folks, no matter what level person is in the room and no matter what type jobs they do, because I think this is a key point that a lot of people miss. So first I want to share a quote with you from Albert Jeffrey. He says, "When you take charge of your life, there is no longer need to ask permission of other people or society at large. When you ask permission, you give someone veto power over your life." So you don't need permission to go out and succeed. You just need to go out and succeed. So when I'm speaking, what I like to ask people to get them thinking about this, especially, again, this book's written for the frontline entry-level people. I love to ask them this question, but again, it applies to everyone. So what I ask them is, when I'm talking to them, especially when I'm on site at an organization, speaking to a group of the associates who are employees, one thing I like to ask them is, who do you work for? And when I ask them, they kind of look at me like, do I know where I'm at, right? But I ask them, I'll say, no, seriously, who do you work for? And then finally, a couple of them will rattle off the name of the company where I'm standing. That's who they think they work for. But once they kind of get done telling me where I'm at, I always ask them, I'll say, I didn't ask you who's paying you to work. And I didn't ask you where you work. I ask you, who do you work for? And then I kind of pause, let it sink in a minute. Because understanding the answer to this question is the key to their success. And someone else is always paying you to work, but you're always working for yourself. And truly understanding what that means is the key to your success. If you walk in the door every day and you think you're working for someone else, you're going to do a much different job than if you walk through the door and you think, I'm working for myself. And I'm going to help you understand why. And it's key to engaging the frontline workforce, helping them excel means that we need to help them understand this principle. That's why it's chapter 7 in the book out of 30, because the rest of this book and any other book will mean a lot more if you truly understand you're working for yourself. When people understand they're working for themselves, they have a different mindset completely. They see themselves as the business owner and everyone else as their customers, potential customers, and or potential advertisers telling others about their business through word-of-mouth referrals. And everyone agrees word of mouth is the best type of advertisement. So if I know I'm working for myself, that means I see everyone else as customers, potential customers, and without a doubt, everyone is advertising. And see, what I'm saying when I say I work for myself, I mean I am my business. When I used to go to work and I was a machine operator, I understood this, but I couldn't articulate it. But I knew I was working for myself. The job that I'd done mattered because people were going to talk about me and the job that I'd done. When people talk about you and the job you're doing, they're word-of-mouth advertisers. Your career is going to hinge on what everybody else says about you. That's what I mean when I say you're working for yourself. What kind of work are you doing? How do you treat people that you interact with? All that stuff is vital because people are going to talk about you and your business, which is you. And when you understand you're working for yourself, you expect to serve your customers, those people who are paying you to work, not be served by them. And if you think about that from that perspective, the person paying you is your number one customer. Who would think of bad-mouthing their number one customer? The one keeping them in business. Common sense says you don't badmouth your number one customer. Any customer keeping you in business, you don't badmouth them. But people do it every day at work. They badmouth their boss. They do it at break. They do it at lunch. They do it during work with their coworkers. Sometimes they badmouth their coworkers. Those are potential customers, and without a doubt, word-of-mouth advertisers. So when we badmouth people, how are we running our business? When you know you're working for yourself, you care what customers think about doing business with you. You intentionally do a better job because you know it matters. And you care how you make your customers or your potential advertisers feel, because those folks are going to determine how well your business does in the future. That's you. Are you going to get promoted? Are you going to get raises? Are you going to get more opportunities? Is your business going to grow or slow? And what I'm talking about is you. You operate your own business, and you're the business. A lot of people miss that. As soon as you know that, everything changes. Don't you want more business? Meaning more pay, more opportunity? If so, you need positive word-of-mouth advertising. As much as you can get. And you determine it. How you interact with other people. Your character is going to determine what everyone else says about you. So you're in business for yourself because you're working for yourself. Your product is physical labor mixed with shared ideas. And then how you do it, how you're being, why you do what you do, that's going to determine where you go, when you go, how you go, and who you go with. I want to say this one more time. What this means is everyone you interact with at work is either a customer, potential customer, and or a potential advertiser spreading either positive or negative word of mouth advertisement about your business, which is you. Charles Koch had this to say: to generate good profit, it's critical not only to understand, but to anticipate what customers value, their expectations, measures, incentives, needs, alternatives, and decision-making processes. When you walk through the door, or you hop in the truck, or you go out to the job site, if you see everyone out there is a customer to be served, and you treat them like that, people are going to love you. And when you raise your hand and take on more responsibility to help everyone, people are going to talk good about you. People inside and outside of your organization are going to know about you. So think about it. That's the key to your success is changing the frame of reference where you don't say you work for someone else. You work for you. If you get paid, I promise you working for you. So the key to moving beyond average is doing what exceptional people do, not wanting what they have. And one thing exceptional people do is they know who they're working for, themselves. And they interact with the rest of the world in that manner. They try to over-deliver on everything with their coworkers, with people who report to them, with the people they report to, with the people on the left and the right. So think about that as you listen to the rest of this series, or you read any leadership books, or you listen to my other podcasts. Change your frame of reference and realize you are working for yourself. Because people who come to work and think they're working for someone else, A lot of times they do a crappy job because they think, why does it matter? I'm telling you why it matters. Because you're working for yourself and somebody's always watching. And that's actually going to be part 8, the next chapter that I talk to you about next time. That's actually the chapter title. Someone is always watching. That's why all this stuff, each one of these chapters in this book, and again, I'm not giving you all the details. I'm just sharing off the cuff stuff, unscripted. Sometimes I read a little from the book, share some quotes from the book, but really to digest it, you need to come dive into this book. Get the audio book, get the paperback book. But even if you don't, I'm sharing plenty with you. I'm giving you the nuggets, some of the key takeaways. We just finishing up chapter 7 of 30. So there's a lot more to come, but I want you to see it in the context of you are working for yourself, because that changes the way everything else is going to be viewed and absorbed by you. You got to know this part. That's why it's early on in the book. And remember, the chapter on chapter 4, part 4, was about common sense is never enough. This is common sense, but it's not common practice. Look around and see if everyone that works with you, look at them and see, are they operating their business like they are actually in business for themselves, or are they just hanging out waiting for something to happen? Are you being proactive or reactive? Think about that. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.